December 1st means only one thing. November has come and gone. So the question is, has the Oilers improved in certain statistics compared to October, where it wasn't really a very good month for the Edmonton Oilers? They actually have improved a little bit, but there's still lots of work to go on. This being the second installment of the Rig Report for 2024-25, the Edmonton Oilers have some pleasing results, however, still need work going on to December. Let's start off with their point percentage. In October, their point percentage was a C, which is definitely a surprising thing compared to what they did in April. But the Oilers did bounce right back in this stat. Only one position up from where they were in April to 13th. April, they were 12th. So for the month of November, they bounced back to a B, which is quite a significant increase from a C to a B. So I'm very pleased to announce that they're starting to go into the right direction when it comes to that statistic. Let's move on to shots for. Once again, the Oilers bounced back in this stat where they were in April. So that's good to hear, because April, we know what happened in April. It led them to the Stanley Cup final. In this stat, it's back to an A+. And it's a very minute change, but they've been pretty steady when it comes to this particular stat, which is good to see. Let's go on to the shots against, where they scored a B in October. Once again, the Oilers had a huge bump in this stat going to April, where they were 25th. Where they were 25th in April. In October, they bumped to 13th, and now they have jumped to 8 spots. So they're taking huge strides in this stat in the last 3 reports that I've done. And they are now an A in this stat for the first time. So that's always good to see. When they start getting A's in stats that they've never had an A, I'm very pleased to see that. When it comes to the power play, they were a D-. Yes, a D- from the most potent offense in the NHL. Just dull as a butter knife is what I put, because it's shocking to know you got McDavid, you got Draisaitl, you got all these good players, and they're a D- in the power play. That's what they scored in October. Not much change here as they go to a C-. So they're still trying to work on their woes. However, in the last couple of weeks, we saw some good strides. And actually, in the last couple of games, we saw some good strides on the power play. So it is starting to, I think it's starting to turn around. I think we're going to be talking some good stuff when I do this next Rig Report in January. When it came to the penalty kill last month, this was their bread and butter. Last year, this was their bread and butter. And they totally bombed in the month of October, which can only mean one thing. There's got to be improvement, right? Yes, a little bit of improvement, but there's still a D-, still lots and lots and lots of work that has to be done on this penalty kill. When it came to the goals for, they were a D- in October. In October, with the arrivals of Victor Arvidsson, Jeff Skinner, and company, the chemistry of the team had totally changed. You can't expect a team to gel that quickly. That being said, they shouldn't drop off that immensely either. There should be still some little bit of balance. However, they did improve in this category by a substantial bit. 2 full letters above. Now they are a D+. As let me just take a look at where they were. Let me just tell you, this is goals for. So goals for in April, they were 6th in April, 29th in October, and then down to 16th in November. So they're kind of all over the map when it comes to this particular stat. So I just hope we kind of see it settle down and we start seeing a good placing for them and a consistent placing for them. They don't have to be A's, but it'd be nice to see them in the B category, but consistently and not going all over the map. And we're going to switch up here 1 second. Okay. When it comes to the goals against, they were a C in November. The Oilers had a slight improvement, still failed to meet the standard. This would be attributed for poor goaltending and lazy defense. That's right. And I don't need to name names. If you watch my previous episodes, you know who I'm talking about. So we are going to give them a C+, as it's just a slight improvement from the C that they had. A slight improvement as their goals against went from 20th to 17th in the league in that 1 month span. When it comes to the save percentage, now this is something that Renegade Man brought to my attention a few episodes ago, and he very well might be onto something, because we've gone through about 5 years of average to below average tending. This is going back to Koskinen. It's just hasn't been very solid. Now, whether this is communication between the tender and the defense, I don't know. Maybe that's a part of the factor. I don't know. But what I do know is maybe it's time to move on from Dustin Schwartz, try somebody else at the helm, and see what they can do. Because realistically, our tending should be better. It should be much better. It's not on Stuart Skinner. I think he takes the brunt end of a lot of blame, but I think there's so many other factors that come into play. And I really think communication between the D and the goaltender is a huge factor, and I don't think it's being addressed by Justin Schwartz to Stuart Skinner and maybe to his defensive coach, Paul Coffey. They got to start communicating with each other, because there's too many times we see these bad breakdowns. And again, sometimes it's laziness from the D themselves. So they were a D in the month of October. They stay a D for the month of November. So no real change there, as it was just a 1 point improvement from 27th place in the league to 26th in the league. So again, work very much needed. One of the stats that the Oilers are always pretty consistent with is the face-off win percentage. Whether it's Leo or Connor, but these guys seem to always get it done when it comes to the dot. In fact, going back to March, they were 3rd in March, 2nd in April, 3rd in October, and remain 3rd in November. So they stay with an A status quo. This is one of the stats that they have consistency on that is good. And I would like to see this with several other stats, or at least not such a massive jump from 29th to 6th to 14th. I'd like to see within range some jumps, and in the positive way. So yeah, once again, they stay at A. So what is the average for the Edmonton Oilers? Well, they went from 19th overall in the league, when you average all these stats out, to 15th in the league. So there has been a slight improvement, and the overall grade for the month of November for the Edmonton Oilers on the rig report is a B. It's supposed to be a B minus, actually, guys. I got B there, but it's actually a B minus for them, as they went up from a C to a B minus. So it's always good to see that they're increasing. That being said, let's keep getting it going, and we'll see you in January for the next edition of the Rig Report.